You are doing everything right. You cut the salt, you eat clean, you take your walks every morning. But every single time you check your numbers, they still scare you. And nobody tells you why. Here is what your doctor almost never has time to tell you. The real reason your blood pressure stays high after 60 is not always what you eat. Sometimes it is what you drink. Right now, there are 3 drinks in your home, in your fridge or your pantry, drinks that almost every person over 60 has, and all 3 are quietly pushing your numbers higher. Even if your diet is nearly perfect, stay with me until the end, because the 3rd drink on this list, you are probably having it every single day right now, and almost no doctor is warning you about it. Here is something most people do not realize. Nearly 75% of Americans over 65 have high blood pressure. That is 3 out of every 4 people, and most of them are following doctor's orders, watching their sodium, taking their medication, yet the numbers still climb. Picture this. A man named Robert, 67 years old, walks every morning, avoids processed food, does everything his doctor told him to do, but every time he checks his pressure at the pharmacy, still 148, still 150, still too high. He feels like he is failing, like something is wrong with him. Here is the truth. After 60, your arteries are not the same as they were at 40. The walls become stiffer, less flexible. Think of a brand new garden hose. Water flows easily. Now imagine that same hose left in the sun for 20 years. Hard, stiff, resistant. That is what is happening inside your blood vessels right now. And certain drinks make that stiffness dramatically worse. If no one explains this to you, you will keep doing everything right and still get the wrong result. But today that changes. This is not guesswork. The 2026 American Diabetes Association guidelines for seniors address this directly for the very first time. They introduced a brand new term, beverage-mediated hypertension in older adults. That means high blood pressure caused specifically by what you drink. And the research is clear. A drink that barely affects someone at 35 can raise systolic pressure by 8 to 12 points in someone over 60. For a senior already sitting at 138 or 142, those extra points push you into dangerous territory, stroke risk, heart attack risk, sharply higher. This is real, the science backs it, and today you are going to hear it clearly. The first drink looks healthy. It has fruit on the label. It is sold in the health section of every grocery store. I am talking about fruit juice. Orange juice, apple juice, grape juice, mango juice, the kind sitting in nearly every senior's refrigerator right now. Often purchased specifically because it feels like the right choice first thing in the morning. Here is the problem that almost nobody explains. When you eat a whole orange, the fiber inside it acts like a brake. It slows down how quickly the sugar enters your bloodstream. Your blood pressure stays calm, but when you drink orange juice, that fiber is completely gone. All that concentrated sugar floods your bloodstream at once, with nothing to slow it down. A study published in the journal Hypertension found that high fructose intake from fruit juice significantly raises blood pressure. Here is how. Fructose increases uric acid in the blood. Uric acid blocks a compound called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what keeps your blood vessels open and relaxed. When it drops, your arteries tighten. And when your arteries tighten, your blood pressure climbs. A 2023 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition followed adults over 60 for 12 weeks. People drinking fruit juice daily had systolic readings 7 points higher on average than those eating whole fruit instead. 7 points. For someone already managing borderline hypertension, that is a serious difference. Robert was my patient. 67 years old, very health conscious. He walked every morning, avoided processed food, and started every day with a large glass of orange juice. His blood pressure would not come down below 148 systolic, no matter what we tried. When we removed the juice and replaced it with whole fruit and water, his systolic dropped to 134 in 6 weeks. No medication change, just that one swap. The fix: replace your morning juice with infused water. Take a large jug of cold water, add slices of fresh lemon, cucumber, and a few mint leaves. Research from the Journal of Nutrition showed that flavonoids in lemon improve arterial flexibility and support healthy blood pressure. Or blend a whole orange with cold water. The fiber stays in, the sugar release stays slow, and your arteries stay calm. This next drink surprises almost every patient I work with because this one was chosen specifically as the safe alternative. Seniors switch to it to protect themselves. I am talking about diet soda, 0 sugar, 0 calories. The version that was supposed to be the responsible choice. But here is what the research clearly shows. Diet soda raises blood pressure through a completely different mechanism, and far more hidden. It does not use sugar to do the damage. A large study in the Journal of General Internal Medicine followed over 6,000 adults above age 60 for 4 years. People who drank diet soda daily had a 36% higher risk of developing hypertension compared to those who did not drink it at all. 36%, with zero sugar involved. The reason is artificial sweeteners, specifically aspartame and sucralose. These compounds disrupt the balance of bacteria living in your gut, and your gut bacteria play a very direct role in regulating blood pressure. When that bacterial balance is disturbed, inflammation rises inside the walls of your arteries. Inflamed arteries are stiff arteries, and stiff arteries produce higher blood pressure. There is also a second mechanism. The carbonation in diet soda triggers repeated releases of cortisol. That is your stress hormone. Over weeks and months of daily consumption, that repeated cortisol signal adds up. Cortisol tells your kidneys to hold on to more sodium, even when your diet is already low in salt. This is why some seniors maintain a very careful low-sodium diet and still cannot get their numbers down. They removed the salt from their meals, but kept drinking the soda. Margaret was 71 years old. She had been drinking 2 cans of diet soda every day for over 10 years. She switched from regular soda specifically for her health. Her blood pressure sat consistently around 152/90. After we replaced the diet soda with sparkling water and a small splash of unsweetened tart cherry juice, her blood pressure came down to 139/82 in 10 weeks. Her sleep improved. She felt less bloated than she had in years. The fix: switch to plain sparkling water. Add a small amount of pure tart cherry juice, no sugar added. Research published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that tart cherry consumption reduced systolic blood pressure by up to 8 points in older adults. The anthocyanins in tart cherries directly support nitric oxide production, helping your arteries stay relaxed. You get the carbonation, the satisfying taste, without any damage. Now, the third drink. I promise this one would surprise you the most, because this drink is considered a healthy alternative by almost everyone who buys it. It is sold in health food stores, recommended by pharmacists. Many doctors suggest it to their older patients, and nearly every senior over 60 has at least one of these at home right now. I am talking about 2 drinks that share the same hidden problem: bottled iced tea and commercially produced sports drinks. Let us start with bottled iced tea. Most people assume that tea is heart healthy, and they are absolutely right about real freshly brewed tea. But bottled iced tea from the store is an entirely different product. A standard 16-ounce bottle contains between 30 and 38 grams of added sugar. That is nearly as much as a regular soda. But the sugar is not even the main concern. Many brands add phosphoric acid as a preservative. Research from the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology found that regular consumption of phosphoric acid damages the small filtering structures inside the kidneys over time. When kidney filtering slows down, your body holds on to more fluid. More fluid inside your bloodstream means more pressure pushing against your artery walls. This happens completely silently, and almost no senior ever hears about it. Now, sports drinks, Gatorade, Powerade, vitamin waters, electrolyte drinks. These are heavily marketed to adults over 60 for hydration. But a standard 20-ounce sports drink contains between 160 and 270 milligrams of sodium per bottle. That sodium exists for one specific reason: to replace what competitive athletes lose during intense, prolonged activity. But most seniors over 60 are walking, doing light yard work, going about a normal day. They are not losing meaningful amounts of sodium through sweat, so every bottle adds a hidden sodium load on top of whatever they ate that day. The 2026 ADA blood pressure guidelines specifically flag sports drinks as a hidden sodium source that physicians should counsel all patients over 60 to avoid, unless engaged in vigorous activity lasting more than 60 consecutive minutes. The vast majority of seniors drinking these every day have never heard this recommendation. Thomas was 64 years old. He came to me deeply frustrated. He had cut his sodium intake dramatically, eating very carefully, but his blood pressure sat stubbornly at 155/92. When we went through everything he consumed in a full day, we found he was drinking 1 bottle of iced tea every afternoon and 1 sports drink after his evening walk. He genuinely believed both were healthy choices. Those two drinks were adding nearly 400 milligrams of hidden sodium and over 60 grams of sugar every single day, on top of an otherwise very careful diet. We removed both drinks immediately. Within 8 weeks, Thomas's blood pressure dropped to 138/84. The fix: replace bottled iced tea with homemade hibiscus tea. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutrition found that 3 cups of hibiscus tea per day reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of 7.2 points in adults with mild hypertension. That level of reduction is comparable to some first-line blood pressure medications. For sports drinks, switch to plain coconut water with no added sugar. Coconut water is naturally rich in potassium. Potassium directly counteracts sodium in the body and helps relax blood vessel walls. Research from the West Indian Medical Journal confirmed that coconut water reduced both systolic and diastolic pressure in hypertensive patients within just 2 weeks of regular consumption. Let me bring everything together for you. The 2026 ADA guidelines now officially recognize what we talked about today. Beverages are a primary and frequently overlooked driver of high blood pressure in people over 60. If your doctor has never asked specifically about what you drink every day, there is a gap in your care, and now you have the information to fill it. 3 swaps, starting today. Whole fruit instead of fruit juice. Sparkling water with tart cherry instead of diet soda. Brewed hibiscus tea and plain coconut water instead of bottled iced tea and sports drinks. Made consistently over 8 to 12 weeks. These 3 changes can collectively reduce systolic pressure by 15 to 25 points. For many seniors, that is the difference between needing medication and not. Now I have a question for you. Which one of these 3 drinks surprised you the most? Tell me in the comments right now. And if this video helped you understand something your doctor never explained, hit subscribe. Every week, I post research specifically for adults over 60, the kind of information that changes outcomes. One more thing before you go, I have been noticing something in my clinic. Patients who make these exact drink swaps, their morning numbers improve, but their evening readings stay stubbornly high. And I traced it back to one single vegetable, something most seniors either avoid completely or prepare incompletely the wrong way. Watch that video next. It is on your screen right now.